Hi, welcome to the Stockinit Zombies. I'm Amy, also known as Jane Itma.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It. And this is episode 156. 156. And it is almost Christmas.
Yes, very much so.
Thursday. It is.
Which is normally published day, but be a little early today.
It is. And then we were a little early this week, a little late last week. So...
AKA didn't record last week due to the illness.
If we're a little gravelly. If I'm a little gravelly. I can't say we.
I have something. But I can't complain really. It's been a breeze compared to what other people have been dealing with this season. So just got extra tired, extra poopy. You know, I get home after work and I just so tired. Yeah, fatigue. Definite fatigue.
Yeah. We've
down.
Yeah, we've had colds and no fevers, but definitely days where we're more run down than others. And then I have some sort of throat stuff going on, so if I sound icky, but also, my middle child is just having the darndest time at school, and I know that they said that he had to go to the principal. He said this time of year kids get really excited, and we, they're excitable, I guess. It's the correct word. But we had to, threaten him with he wasn't going to get presents this weekend because Santa came early because Santa doesn't want us to have to strap children to the top of our vehicle because it's so packed when we come back from Iowa. And so he was warned and had to go to the principal 2 times last week that he wasn't going to get presents from Santa and get to open presents. And it hurt my heart. He didn't even care. But I was just like, I picked out presents for you. Now you're not getting to open them. But he didn't care. He just played with his brothers and sisters' stuff, and yeah, it was kind of a bummer. But we got Ellie, my oldest, she wanted a Fitbit, and I refused to get her a Fitbit because it's the first thing, they're like $50, $60 for the little cheap one.
Yeah.
And, she lost it or it broke or whatever.
You need
so
to get at least the one that straps to your wrist, and then that gets into too much money.
But she didn't want the one that was on her wrist. But we found this is called GeoPals.
Oh, okay.
And it's a pedometer, and it counts active minutes, and it's got an online thing where it's kind of like Chuck E. Cheese where you can win prizes, but the big prizes are basically funded by the parents.
Okay.
You have to set forth a prize for your child. But I'm kind of proud of myself that I get 12,000 steps a day, right? That's great. I'm doing great. The first thing she does, she straps that thing on the first day, and I'll admit she was walking all over the house. I hardly saw her sit down, and then she asked to go for walks, and they went outside and played and whatever. 25,000 steps. First day 1. I'm just are you kidding me, kids?
That's the difference between kids and adults, right?
Yeah. I know. And that's the max, but that's the max the website will let you enter.
Yeah.
So,
who knows how many she really got?
Yeah, I don't know. I was she is definitely my child. I get obsessive about things, and but yeah, she's very active. But that and if I walk 10 steps, that's actually 17 steps for her, right? It takes her more steps to get places for sure.
Okay, and that was a
GeoPals, I believe is what it's called. And it was cheaper than a Fitbit, but I don't know, it seems to really have motivated her. Cool. To keep moving. Not that she needed a lot of motivation, but it was a hit. She wanted to be like mommy and her Fitbit. And
my son is so into Pokemon right now. I bet I could tie some Pokemon into that incentive and it would get him moving real quick. Although he's a little devious, so he'd probably figure out a way to just shake his arm all day.
While he was playing Pokemon. Yeah.
Like, I know how to beat this thing.
Yeah.
Step.
I don't know. I think that it took some digging to find this thing, and I'm like thinking about all the childhood obesity stuff that they've got out there. I was just like, this seems like the type of thing that should just be like gangbusters.
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe people just figure that until they get to a certain age, and then they get them a Fitbit, right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but yeah, she's super excited about it, and that was good. And we've got a really loud racetrack that sends cars speeding around the track attached to the wall. Oh yeah, super loud. I mean, the things go through there at like a bajillion miles an hour. Okay. Like, I'm worried about a child taking an eye out if one of the cars jumps off. Yeah.
We got some presents from Grandma, and like, Justin was into Munchkin, and we got 2 games, so a game and an expansion pack. And then Grandma bought him 2 more, and I think he's still gonna get 2 more.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, oh, that was like overboard. Like, apparently Pokemon, that's okay, but Munchkin, that's not okay. He didn't think that was as cool. And the games aren't cheap, so it's like, oh, we might be destashing them soon.
Destashing Munchkin.
Yeah, it's like, anybody want an extra Munchkin? They're really fun games, and we're playing them as a family. Mm-hmm. We played both the ones that Grandma got tonight. But, it almost took some convincing, because he would rather do other, Pokemon everything. Like, it doesn't matter.
And see, wasn't that like a big thing, like when we were in high school-ish? Pokemon? I swear.
Not for me.
Okay. But like maybe in the 90s, late 90s?
Could be.
Okay.
Wasn't me.
Huh. And it's made a comeback.
Yes, made a big comeback. I know that my nephew, who's 22, had a bunch of Pokemon. He was 9, and it has made a resurgence in his age bracket as well, like nostalgia, I guess. Like, oh, I remember playing about these when I was a kid, and I'm still young enough, so I'm gonna spend my money on Pokemon now that I have a job. So he's back into it again, so that's interesting. To have the 22, 23-year-old nephew playing with my son. This kid's game, as far as I was concerned. But I could see the appeal. I guess it just baffles me that that's all he it's like obsessive behavior. So darn them, Pokemon and their marketing skills.
Yeah, my daughter is obsessed with her little how many steps she has, and
well, that's better.
I think but yeah, it's still obsessive behavior.
This is true.
I think that it only gets worse as they become teenagers, to be honest with you. Do you remember listening to the same song over and over again? And yep.
What was I going to say? Oh, my mom made mittens for my whole family.
Cool.
So I like that.
The recycled.
Yes,
the
recycled
felted
sweaters that have been felted. So, like, going to Goodwill, you get a large wool sweater and felt it on purpose. Cut it into fabric. Yeah, and they are quite warm, and I've had the mittens before, but my family has not, so we'll see how they like them.
Cool.
Yeah.
We have a ton of giveaways that we need to draw for. By the way, I wanted to say happy holidays to everyone, whatever holiday you celebrate out there. And be safe. I've heard that there's supposed to be some snow. We're leaving
White Christmas.
Yeah. If it stays cool enough for it to stick around. We had the Silver Shed drawing for the bags, all the favorite bags out there.
Yeah. And it was 2 out of 342 entries. Woohoo. And we randomly drew 284. So that is J. Kelly 70. And she had said that she had a zipper accident recently, so she's leaning towards non-zippered bags. But She does own a couple of my mom's bags and says she likes the details in them. So Kelly, contact me and I will get you hooked up with my mom. Basically, I think all you would need to do is contact her shop and let her know which medium-sized project bag you would like.
Cool. And then we had the This or That, which was the gift edition. You get to choose what your favorite type of project to gift was. And we had a whole slew of patterns, 8 in total. We had a new edition from last week. So the hats were Out of Friendship by Susan Busby, the Triple Swell Hat by Lucia Payne, the Twisted Sand Mitts by Lucia Payne, the Herrero by Kelly Ashfield, and that is Celtic Cast On, and that was the new edition. Ayla Grace Shawl by Jennifer Lassonde, Follow the Yellow Brick Road by Holly Dapp, Shoe Candy by Leah Oakley, and Addicted to Sock Knitting E-Zine, which had 7 patterns. By and large, hats won. Hats had 174 votes, which I think were more than the other two combined. 53, 74, and 41. Yep, more than the other ones combined. And by and large, folks thought that they were fast, easy projects that were appreciated and fit a large range of people. All right. So here's how it's going to go down. I'm going to say all the numbers. I'm going to say all the people. I'm going to say the patterns that you won. Hopefully we can have some sort of respond out in the thread, and then we can magic link the designers and say, hey, they found out. You can gift them the pattern. And it will all be without having to do a bunch of private messages. Okay, here's my hope.
Yes.
My Christmas wish. All right, so it was 2 through 284, and there were 8 numbers, and random number generator gave 213, 34, 281, 156, 80, 277, 71, and 182. So 213 was MTL HD Tricks, which was Amy Trixie, is her name in her Ravelry profile, and she won Out of Friendship. We had 34, which was Anolus, which was Anna, and she won the Triple Swell. We have Knit Me J, was 281, and that was Shoe Candy. 156 is DP Temple, which is Diane, and she won Twisted Sands Mitts. 80 was Knit Me Too, Melissa. She won the Herrero. 277 is MCS 1157. MCS 1157. Mary. She won the Ayla Grace Shawl. 71 was Smith Helen 24. That was Helen. Addicted to Sock Knitting E-Zine. Zine. However you want to pronounce it, you won those 7 patterns. 182 is Aureal, A-U-R-A-L.
Aureal?
Which looks like it's a anagram for Laura. And she won Follow the Yellow Brick Road. So go out and check out all of those wonderful designers who donated those patterns. And thanks for playing along on this mega This or That.
Yes.
It was fun. I enjoyed the voting because I'm kind of a pollster type person, I guess. I like the numbers and looking how things jump. Jump. And excuse me if I'm blowing out your ears.
No, not at all.
Not yours, but maybe theirs.
No, I don't think so.
Really? It's not that loud?
No, it's not that loud.
Okay, I'm doing a good job of muting. And that is all of the administrati that's fit to be had. I don't have the big mega 12 self-striping prize nailed down yet, but hopefully that will be soonly. And but get those in.
Yes, get your entries in for our other KAL as well, the gift along. We don't have very many people entered, and we plan on gathering up some prizes between here and the drawing. So please, I saw some people who had posted in the chatter thread, go back out and post in the FO thread.
Yeah.
And those people I'll try to link before the end of the drawing.
And we'll be podcasting again next week, probably
yes.
Monday or Tuesday. So you'll get another reminder, but if you're not you're not watching because it's the holidays and, you know, busy.
Yeah.
Then get her in while you're thinking of it. And if we think of it, maybe we can magic link a couple people and remind.
I was following a thread on Instagram that had, like, grant your yarny wishes or something like that, or get your yarny wishes granted. But it was really fun to follow, and there was a few of them that I was like, oh, I can do that, and I can do that, and I ended up doing 8 of them. So that was fun. I don't know if anybody followed along. I know a few of our viewers did. Because one of them was a viewer. I granted it, and then she said, oh, by the way, I really enjoy your podcast. So she will be getting a bag.
'Tis the season.
Yeah.
Have you been watching the Librarians?
Mm-mm.
Like a TNT or TV? I can't remember what it is, but it's got, Noah Wiley was the original one. Anyway, they were talking about goodwill. That's like Christmas. The magic of Christmas is that they send goodwill out into the world.
So I was thinking of what my yarny wishes would be.
Mm-hmm.
And I have one that's a little selfish, but it's tiny. And then I have one that I think would be cool. So my little yarny wish for myself is that I'm trying to do a scrappy lace garment. And I only have like 3 scrappy colors from my own stash, and then one person had sent me some a while back, and I pulled it out of my stash recently and went, oh yeah, that thing. And so now I really want to start it in the new year. So if anybody has lace garn scraps, any amount, happily take them off your hands. And then my other wish is for Megan's sister's pattern to rocket off the charts, especially with our new payment installment type of gifting idea. It's a super cute hat, and I know it's been through some testing, so hopefully as soon as that launches, it'll launch with a
bang. Awesome. I'm super excited to get them out, both the Static Zing socks and the hat for my sister out. The hat, it still boggles my mind how quickly time has gone. I'm just like, wow, it's almost the end of the year.
You guys have already done Christmas. I mean, really?
Yep. It's almost the end of the year. But yes, that'll be coming. The Joyful will be coming. Yes, the announcement. Joyful. It will be coming. Do you have any FOs? I know you said you had one that got gifted.
Yes, my stepdad's Kiviot gloves are done, and it was very lovely, and I enjoyed working with it very much. And what's going to happen is that I'm going to be knitting some mitts in the Yak from Bijou Basin, and I'm going to give it kind of a review and compare. Like Kiviot is quite a few dollars more than the Yak. Just to see if maybe we can save some dollars and go with the Yak yarn in the future. And so at the conclusion of that review, we will have a drawing for some Yak yarn.
Cool.
Some Yak sock yarn.
Cool. I'm excited. I'm kind of bummed that I didn't get to feel the gloves.
Yeah.
Did I get to feel the other ones?
I think you got the socks.
Oh, okay. I got to feel the socks, but I didn't put them on. I was gonna like take the
gloves
that's
and
true. Put them on.
That's true. It's kind of gross to put on socks from to put a glove.
Yes. My hands are clean. Shucks, I'll have to keep these.
I had one of those oh no moments with my family. I witnessed one of my cousin's kids sneeze without covering their mouth in the food line. And I'm like, face palm.
I will talk often about sneeze clouds. Like, your sneeze cloud is like huge. Like, if you don't stifle it, it's ginormous.
Yeah.
And I was calling it a sneeze cloud, and somebody at work was saying, "Did you see that Mythbusters?" And I was like, I didn't. And they're like,
"Oh, you didn't?"
Like, no.
Oh, that's a good one. You need to see that one.
They like snorted Kool-Aid and sneezed and saw how far it went.
Yes. They also did a dinner party where they simulated like a drippy nose or something, and then like one party where he wasn't being careful, and then another party where he was being careful, and they did the whole like black lights thing on the simulated. Yeah, it was pretty cringeworthy for sure. Mm-hmm. And they had, I guess Carrie's a germaphobe, or she likes to be very careful, so she was actually trying to be spotless in this experiment. How careful can you be? And it was interesting. She did very good. But basically, I think with the sneeze one, they were trying to prove that this is the best one.
Yeah. I think you would get the most surface area, and then you wouldn't get it on your hand.
Yeah, it's like, and it's almost like you need to aim down towards your armpit as well. So like this, well, good. Not as good as the full top down into
you never know what
the
you're
vampire
learn on this podcast.
I know, but that myth borders that was a good one. I was like, I don't know, like could not tear me away from it. But yeah, and then so I can't recall what else I got
so long
done
since we podcasted.
Oh, I think I did put some stuff in it. Oh no, Jasmine.
Yeah, Chazzy doesn't like it when you
bend
too
over.
much. Oh, sorry.
I did put it away. Okay, so I do have it. Okay.
You've got a bag full of FOs?
Well,
sort of.
So I started to do some Mittens.
Mm-hmm. You showed 2 last time.
Yes, this is the 2 that we saw before. And then I went ahead and started doing some more. And this kind of has to do with that granting wishes thing. I am trading some hand spun with another person, and I wanted to make sure that I made some of the mittens so that I could weigh what I was giving her, and she would definitely have enough to make her own mitten out of it. And she's going to be doing the same for me.
So cool.
So I have these 4 finished newly, and I have 2 more samples to make, and then I'm going to ball up some stuff and send them off.
Cool.
In trade. I think she was doing 4 for me, so I just got to make sure that 4 of them get picked out properly. This one might not have enough to do a second one. I gotta weigh it. And then, so the mittens aren't exactly done. I'll keep going on the mittens, and eventually they'll be done. So these are gifts. So
I will be done.
I will try to get them, keep them away from the Chaz fur blanket that has been left behind. But we have caps, rule, Nux.
Cool.
And those will be sent along here this week to their new owner.
Ends woven in.
Yes, everything.
Letters put on.
Done. They are finished. Yes, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to show them, so it's good that I remembered, because they would have been gone by now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have this lovely cowl that I finished for our viewer Tempe, who won the birthday challenge, or birthday giveaway.
Birthday challenge.
This is Lawrence Lace's, it was a Loopy U exclusive colorway in their kit or something. I forget, or club.
It was like you get a bag and a yarn and a pattern.
Oh, okay, so it was some sort of kit.
Yep.
And I got this, and I've had it forever and haven't done anything with it, but it was a pleasure to knit with. So Lauren Elise's Honor was really nice. And
Fire and Ice colorway. I have no idea the vestiges of my mind where that came from, but that is what it was. Fire and Ice colorway.
She has put it in her mind palace.
Yes.
And has gotten it out.
And I think it was like Frosted Fields where it was the pattern or something like that.
Oh, really fun.
Okay, anyway.
So now that this is finished and been shown to you properly, it will go in the mail to its new owner.
Argyle's went out today.
Haha, cool.
The mitts that started it all.
So now I'm going to put that away. And so I have a lot of packages to mail tomorrow before my holiday festivities begin. But that's it because of the mitts or the gloves that didn't... yeah, I made the Foxhall gloves. It's a Rainy Day Sisters pattern. The way the fingers were done reminded me a lot of the connectivity pattern that I had done earlier. You know, just the way you shift the finger heights. But not
to make them even.
Well, like your pinky is actually quite a few rows, especially in fingering weight yarn, different than the height of these interiors. So you do a couple rows, and I think in my stepdad's I had to do at least 4 rows to jump up to that next level. So you just trace around your hand, and hopefully, you know, if you've kept the pencil even though it's not touching straight up with your skin, it will at least be the same height jump. And then yeah, you know, crossing that divide. But I feel like it's okay to share because that's what the connectivity pattern did, and that's free out on Knitting. And but otherwise it had a lot of useful hints that came in with a separate PDF. So you got the PDF of the pattern, which was, you know, it seemed very vanilla, but it had a lot of references back to the helper guide, and that seemed less vanilla. So that's the Foxhall pattern. I kept wanting to call it Fox Glove because that's the thing, and they're gloves. That's the Foxhall pattern. And then every time I type it in somewhere, like the Fox Glove, no, that's so
silly how our brains do that.
Yes.
I finished some washcloths. So just some, I bought some colors from Knit Picks from their Dishy that this one got a little out of control. It's more of a towel than a washcloth, but that would make great leaves. I was told that Canadians say leaves and not leaves.
Unless they're talking about their sports team.
Yes. Right. And then this one, I mixed it up a little bit and made it so that you slipped on both sides. So the stem is on both sides. Fancy schmancy. And those, I wanted to show you these, Amy, too. I got some more of the simple soap, and these are to go with them as gifts. And this one is Cool Citrus. I really love it. Overwhelmed. Don't inhale too much. And then this one is Organic Brisk Mint. I really like this one.
It was good. It was just like, I don't know if there were extra.
It's the mint in it that that goes
much easier
into your.
I felt like I was gonna sneeze right after it.
And then we were gonna see where the Kool-Aid went. Make sure that you did it into your sleeve.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I've been using it's kind of a local plug. Bubbles by Brooks. She has a shave bar, and the lather or lack thereof, but the slickness of the soap stays on your hands a lot longer, and so you put it on your legs, and then you can use it for a shaving cream, shaving soap, and I've just been falling in love with it over and over again.
I've actually really liked. I've been using. We ran out of face soap. We have special face soap that both me and my husband use, and I've been using mine, and I haven't, we haven't had any breakouts or anything. So
that's good to know.
Yeah, I like it. Finished up the hat, which you saw me working on last. I guess
matching.
Yes, the matching one. And blocking color work is like magical. Like just everything just looks better. It's just magical. And then I went a little crazy I went crazy with the mittens. The mittens went crazy. These are a little wet. But we've got enough that you could put some on, and Max could put some on, and I could put some on, but Chaz couldn't put some on.
Oh, no. Poor Chaz.
Poor Chaz, but he left. These are the Kleckheaton in the gray and blue.
These are wet.
Yeah. And those are really wet.
Yeah. No, I was talking about the orange
Yeah.
ones.
They're the Ragbri mitts by Bill Turner, and Ragbri is Register's annual bike ride across Iowa. And because I never do anything as written, this is a free pattern out there. I changed up the thumb to, I really like the thumb gusset. So like this one doesn't have a thumb gusset, and I like the thumb
Having
gusset.
the thumb gusset.
Yeah, a lot more. I didn't like that the handlebars in the middle, so there's bikes. Ragbri is a bike ride across Iowa. It only had one stitch in between as written in the pattern.
Oh, yeah.
And they were really close. And what that does is it makes all the wheels line up straight. But I didn't care. I like it better with the space. So what I ended up doing was adding 2 stitches and then moving these out, but keeping everything else the same, basically.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Not the same, but anyway.
So the vertical stripe only had 1 stitch in it.
Yeah, in the middle. There. Right. Talking while waving mittens in your hand and your face. Hands in your face. Hands in your face. But these are for my husband, and this Kleckheaton. Oh, it is so soft and squishy. And it's it washed up like a dream. Like, it has the propensity to be like, didn't wash up. Washed up great. Just great.
Do we have a coupon code? I forget.
No, but we have a kit to give away. We have a kit to give away, and you have a kit at home. Make your own. Make your own.
I think I'm gonna make the cute hat with the pom pom.
Yeah, it was super soft, cute hat with pom pom. And these are really wet compared to the other ones. These I went to our LYS and got some Barocco vintage DK and got these are from my uncle. Just, he loves Bazinga colors. Like, he wears like the cool
green
guy lime green Hawaiian shirts, and my mom sews in polar fleece socks that are like bright colors and crazy patterns, and I think these will be high vis. And I originally got some black to go with it, and then they were starting to look a little Halloween-y. So then I went back and got the blue. And I don't know that I did anything different. I think I changed up the motif over here on these because I didn't think that it showed up as well on those. But yeah, went a little mitten crazy. Cray cray on the mittens. But he's going to love these, and there's going to be a great surprise. Like, I don't know that my mom even knows that I'm making them for my uncle.
Ah, fun.
Yes. And then this actually matches. Our friend Judy sent us this DK twist in the Envy colorway, and a whole bunch of it. And this matches my Scarfy Shenanigans and the hat that I'm currently making. So this is Madeline Tosh DK twist. I really like, I think it knits up more of a worsted weight. Like, if I'm comparing that to this, that is labeled as a worsted, and I think it's more of a DK, the Kleckheaton. And the Madeline Tosh is a DK, and I think it knits up more of a worsted. But I know that the DK twist washes up really well, but I've gotten a lot of mileage, for lack of a better word, out of the Silver Fox. Like, it was in the hat that I'm wearing, and the dog sweater, and these, and the scarf, and I'm just seeing like the infinite possibilities of
other yarns,
the color work.
Sweater.
Sweater quantities, color work, mix and match. This is a pattern that I'm planning on, and I contacted the original author and got her permission. They're called the Philosopher's Walk socks, and this is the motif that was repeated over the top of the sock. Hi, Max. Just have a random cap on coming out from my hair. And I'm going to write up the pattern. It's going to be a free pattern that you guys can try out, colorwork mittens. But so the stitch motif, and then I might end up doing a gusset thumb because I think I've fallen in love with the gusset thumb. This is kind of a micro gusset. I increased twice before I separated. And I just don't think it gives you enough wiggle room. You couldn't do like video games in these mittens. But I fell in love with the pattern, and I converted it to be in the round, which was sort of easy. I wonder if she actually took the in the round and made it for a flat on the top of the sock. And it's super addicting, and I really like the way it looks with this variegated. Like, I don't think you're going to be able to see it on camera, but the variegated just looks so nice. It just pops on the color work. And again, like, just really like how it's just magical how color work washes up. It's like all the lumpy bumpies and everything are all gone. They're all gone. And that is my mitten mania.
Cool.
Yeah, my husband is going to be wearing these soonly. He's heading out on bike rides. But the really cool thing about the vintage is that, you know, he's not going to have my guidance on washing them up.
Right.
So it's got acrylic in it as well as wool.
Cool.
The vintage does, I believe. I don't have the tag with me, but highly recommend. I can't say highly recommend. The stitch pattern is super cute. I found it to be fairly, you know, the instructions. The only place that the instructions are lacking, words, I have them, is how to separate for the thumb. Like, it doesn't do a really good job of explaining where you're taking like 3 stitches here and turning them into 5, and that the blue stays the outermost, and where you're making the stitches, and like that was something that I kind of had to do. So I wouldn't say a beginner could knit these RAGBRAI mitts, but if you're an experienced color work person, they're free, and go out and do them. And then I gotta make sure that these all get dried and I can wrap them up before we head down to Iowa. Mitten mania. You've got a lot of mittens too with your smittens.
Yes, tiny, easy to do, but yeah, that's a free pattern that I highly recommend. Smittens. They're quick, easy, cute, and they make it as simple as possible as far as like number of ends you have to weave in and all that stuff. Super easy.
Well, compared to the ones that I knit for Argyle, these were pretty easy. There was only 4 for the thumb, and then 4 for the, so 8 ends to weave in. Cool. Loved it. I was like, woohoo! Color work doesn't necessarily mean a lot of ends to weave in. And
and I didn't end up weaving in all my ends on my smittens. Just tuck them in there.
And yeah, nobody's going to be wearing them.
Nope. Not at all.
I didn't set out in November to knit all these gifts, but I think that I just kind of got into the color work and went like, this is something that you can't buy at the store, bicycle motif, stranded mittens, and so I went with it. I ran with it. The Philosopher's socks, mittens that I converted, I think are going to be for my brother, as well as the scarf. Okay. And I can say that because he doesn't watch the show, I'm pretty sure. All right, FOs.
I did my FOs, so we're going to go on to whips.
Whips, yeah.
So I'm still working on the Rayers.
It got big.
Yeah. It's almost done, because I'm back to the green. I don't know if you can tell, but the green with the gray is now green with this, as far as you're concerned, black. It's got some variation in it, but not much. And then, so it's going to end up being about that big around. But that's alright. It'll work.
You ran out of scraps, or you're done with it?
I ran out of colors that I thought would go together in scraps that were big enough to do anything with. And then, you know, I started out with scraps that could get me like a good solid 13 stripes, and then I ended up with ones that only gave me about 7 stripes, and so it's getting progressively smaller, so I just felt like, yeah, this looks like it'll be good. So I'm ready to come back around. So as soon as the black runs out, I'm ready to attach it to the green. So I'll end on the very last black, and then I'll graft it into the green, and it'll be done.
Cool.
Fini. So that's not too far away from being done. That's kind of why it's getting a lot of love, besides the smittens.
Amy is a person that you want to take to a yarn shop and ask about color combos, because every single one of those is gorgeous. dress. I love the color combos.
Yeah, I think at one time my aunt had a scrappy craft room for sewing, and I was like, oh, do you mind if I go in there and get something? And like I made her like I think it was just 3 triangles that turned into a tree on a quilt, and whatever. And she's like, I bought these fabrics and I didn't even think about putting them together. Yeah. So it's been something that I've heard before.
She's a color savant.
Apparently. Sometimes I get it wrong, and then I know immediately, though.
Yeah.
That's not gonna work. And I'm wondering if I even have anything else fit to show. Because
your sunspots for adults.
Yeah.
That get any love?
It got like down to the second set of sunspots, but not through a full pattern repeat. So like, you know, is that 6 more rows since the last time you've seen it? Probably.
Depends on how long we talk, whether people can see it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I am still in love with it. I'm still working on it. I think I really just got into gift mode. And so, like, all those things that just needed those last minute touches, and they just, I don't know, they ate up a lot of time, and
They do.
They do. Yeah, and this might have gotten a few rows, but it still hasn't, you know, okay, sleeves are separated. So at least that happened, but yeah, I think that there's like, I don't know how many rows of knitting before I have to go to the next size. But yeah, markers are in there. Maybe this is news since the last time. Yeah, it seems like, yeah. Separating for the arms. I did this.
I did that.
Sure.
It didn't sit in a bag and do itself. You did that.
Yes. So that's in there. But yeah. So I have been finding that there's a lot of socks that are on my, you know, want to put on the needles next. And I haven't even finished up the socks that I've begun before I finished up the To the Moon and Back. So, yeah, that's all right. I have a feeling that
you're definitely not monogamous, sexually not monogamous.
No, not even that. Yeah, like I think once this one
that is just a big sock, right?
Has lost my attention. You know, like once it gets done, everything else will just like come into focus. Especially with the Mittens was just a passion project because I got to wind up all of my lovely hand spun into balls, and then I'm like, oh, I'm ready to play with my hand spun. So that got a lot of attention after I had decided to do that. You know, not just work through one ball, but to do all sorts of stash diving for it. And so now that I have that started, I am finding that, you know, gauge matters. Like this is a lot thicker than the other hand spuns, and so it's probably the wrong gauge for Mittens. So I probably just make the one smitten and go back to the drawing board with that particular hand spun. But fun stuff.
Definitely.
Okay, that's it. Please.
All right, I have been working on the scarfy shenanigans, and if I am to be a polygamous knitter, that is the way to do it, because I finally can get to the end of the clue for the day.
Oh, yeah.
And then I can go no further. So it's Scarfy Shenanigans, Josh Ricks, and it's that same Madeline Tosh DK twist and the Silver Fox and the Envy colorway. Although this one has a lot more blue than the Mittens. Grab it. And so I originally had balled them up to go because it's a 2. It's supposed to use up more than one skein, and then I went, whoa, these are really different. So it's got a really fun end down there. It's got a fun end where you did some short rows.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I didn't know about it, or I wasn't aware of it and to have mentioned it, but it was free for a short while. I Instagrammed about it. And then there's just daily passages where you're doing fun stuff. I think my favorite stitch pattern motif thus far would have been yesterday's. Sorry. I don't know. I just like the way that looks.
Mm-hmm. It goes well with the yarn.
It does. And there are some sections, the yarn really sings in the garter sections, I think. There are some where like the little purl bumps just completely kind of get lost unless you really look.
Yeah, it's a texture.
There. But there's 2 more days left. This is, today was day 10, and there's 12 days. I have been diligently weaving in my ends.
Yeah, you have. This is nice. It's ready to go.
Yeah, ready to go. Although I'm kind of worried. I don't know about my mom's washing machine, and if I want to try to give this to my brother, I may need to take like pins and
blocking wires.
Yeah. But I
could use a good
there is a
blocking.
wrong side. Yeah, because it's got bias bits.
Mm-hmm.
But it's got an I-cord edging, which I really like, and it was super generous of Josh to give it away for free for a weekend, and I've been thoroughly enjoying it. It's very graphic with the silver and the variegated part, but
yeah, it'll be interesting when you get it done and you see how the vision comes.
Yeah.
Like when you do it across your neck and
yeah. I don't know. I can see my brother walking around New York City with this on.
Yeah. Okay. You can kind of see
yeah.
just how it lays and neat.
Yes, for sure. I doubt that I'll use all of because I have 2 more days. I don't know if I'll have to touch that one or not. I probably will. That's not very much left, unless there's a lot of the contrast. Anyway, more mittens. I also have I did a tube sock. So I actually did my due diligence and went out to the internet and searched. This is Safe Asset, Cafe Facet. Cafe Facet is the Regia. Design line, so Cafe Facet, and it's just got some bazinga cool colors to it. If you can see the sock on the, they just kind of like fade into each other. There's not a straight line, and so had a little bit of what I would call a collision on the light green and dark green there. But other than that, did pretty good. It's tube sock with the static zing on one side, and I really like how it ended up. And it's super stretchy. So the top of the sock is stretchy in and of itself, and then I used the formula from Bunnyfish to add in some ribbing on the back if it's my daughter, if it's my son, although it's a super tall sock on my son, and it fits me.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So super stretchy. I don't know how well they'll stay up on them, but I'm knitting them for them. So and I got the toe cast on here and I'm gonna start alternating and making the fun pattern. And really simple, straightforward. I just kind of went until it was long enough on my foot, so in my mind my daughter can wear it into teenage years if she wanted to, when her feet are the same size as mine.
Yeah, I need to realize that those sturdy yarns like that the Regia, they don't need to be quite as knit with a small needle. So I think the next time I knit, because there's enough left over, socks out of that, what is that, floor, I don't know, it's neon. That one, I think I'm going to go up to a size 2 or something.
Oh wow.
I don't know. they feel like super bulletproof, and then I washed them a few times, like just threw in the washer. They've even made it through the dryer. Mm-hmm. Now they seem like super, super bulletproof, and I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, maybe a little too dense for socks. The, while I was at the OIS getting that, Hank and Pearl's getting that, they have, Regia, I think it's Regia now, has, and I got some to alternate and do Static Zing, Outlast socks.
Nice.
So stuff that has Outlast in it, which I've enjoyed. I'm also knitting on. I'm going to, with those same two colors, getting a lot miles out of that, the Undergrowth hat. It is a Knitty pattern that is free by Mandy Powers, and I think that these colors, as you saw in the mittens, look really well with the bold graphic print. It's kind of a leafy motif, and so I cast that on, and instead of doing a, I forget what that's called, braid, Latvian braid, I'm just doing some corrugated ribbing, although I don't know how well it's going to not
It turns a little, yeah.
Corrugated ribbing does.
I have some mitts of corrugated ribbing on the bottom.
And they just kind of turn.
They roll a little bit, yeah.
I'm okay with that. The corrugated ribbing rolls a little bit too.
It does.
Literally a roll. So yeah, I've got those, and then I'm planning on making another Joyful. And the wonderful Kate of Infinite Twist sent me, she's in January going to have some new, they're called treasure cakes. And they are 70 grams, I believe, of their helix, and there's 6 different colors. And if you use all, I think there's going to be 3 different colorways, you get the full spectrum of the rainbow. And so she sent us the greeny one and some coordinating. So I think I'm going to make the inside brim a darker color, and then start from the center here and do the lace, so the darker color will show through that lighter lace, and then possibly hold this darker color double with the gradient as well.
So that was sent, or you had that left over?
This was sent.
Oh, okay.
So there's 3 coordinating if you wanted to grab one of them and do something with your cake. But again, joyful this will be. And it's gonna, I've already packed my knitting. My clothes have not been packed. My knitting and my project's like, oh, I'll make some more tube socks. And I'm taking the owl tweet with me to make the, why can't I think of it? The big, anyway, I've talked about it, needle adjacent. Chaleur.
It was the Darn It Anyway announced their 12 and 12, and the first one of the season is made out of owl, and it's a hooded garment.
I should check it out.
Yes, and you need to go out to their website if you haven't. Darn It Anyway, 12 and 12 for 2015. If you're going to knit along with them, you get a 20% discount on your yarn, and they do have online business. So I don't know how you would arrange that, if you need to call the number and then arrange for the % off, because it is a special thing. Mm-hmm. But I know that they have done that for me.
And they have been doing they gave away for like the 12 days of Christmas a lot of their patterns. So they've been in the hot right now a lot. Yes. I've been seeing a lot of their patterns.
And it's not over yet. I mean, they're still going on the 12 days of Christmas.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the Infinite Twist treasure cakes to see how those knit up. I think that it'll make a pretty joyful, easy for me to say. And
I have some O-loops that I think I want to turn into a joyful.
Fun. Yeah, it loves the crazy variegated. Mm-hmm. Like, it's like all about it.
Yeah, it's the Scully colorway, so it's blue and purple, and my daughter just got this blue and purple coat, so I think it's perfect.
Yeah, Sally made one that was a tonal, and it looks really good in tonals as well, but the super variegated kind of sing like, woo.
Yes, and sometimes you really need a pattern that takes in the crazy, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Embraces the crazy.
Sings to it and pets it and calls it its own. I have a wee bit of enabling, I had talked briefly about the Violet rolling pins that I got online. I splurged, and they're heavy, so I'm going to try to pick them up with one hand. But they are patterned. And so this was like the geometric set. Kind of got a cool medallion pattern, a herringbone, or would that be more herringbone and this be more... I was thinking that one was going to look a lot more like knit stitch, but it does look a lot like herringbone. This is, what is that called? There's a name for it.
Yeah.
You're screaming it. But we got some Sculpey non-toxic clay and made some ornaments, and we've got some up on the, and then I got a paint pin and wrote 2014 on the back. The kids are giving their teachers some ornaments that they made. And this is a literal stockinette zombie. We got some zombie cookie cutters, and I really enjoyed the rolling pins. The kind of the trick of the deal is that you have to use a normal rolling pin, and then once you've got it the right thickness, then you use this last. And it does take a little bit of pushing down evenly, so like my son didn't do it so well, my 5-year-old. My daughter, I think, did it too well. Like, she really pushed down, and like she got some really thickly imprinted ones. And then if you push down too hard, it also kind of gets ingrained in there, and it's hard to pull it off. And so you're probably not going to be able to see, but at the end, they got creative, and we combined all of the colors that we had. We had a green,
you're really going to
and
need to flour them if you're using them for dough.
Yeah. Yep. And so these have been washed and not rummed. What did my husband say I used? Whiskied. So that we could hopefully get some of that non-toxic clay off of there. But we haven't made the sugar cookies yet. I had high hopes, but then I wasn't feeling real well. Which was why we didn't record. But.
And sugar cookies, you have to think in advance, right? Because 24 hours of cooling or chilling is best.
Yeah.
So you don't want to the 4 hours will be okay. Nah, 24 is the best.
Especially, you don't, with this, no leavening. And you want it to be, I think you want it to be cool and do it quickly, because if it rises or does anything, you're not going to see any of the pretty imprints. But they are nice. I recommend them. They were a splurge from Poland, but Poland has a very good tracking system. I could watch them go through their country and come to us, and also got to see it go to customs in New York City. And it was...
That's interesting, because, some of the stuff that I have gotten internationally that says it has really good tracking, I didn't get to see it hit the Minnesota until it was out for delivery. I was like, oh, it magically is out for delivery. I'm sorry, I didn't see that.
And they have, you can get custom, your initials. You could get something that is near and dear to your heart, if I had a sneaker or something logo that I wanted emblazoned on it. But I like the geometric shapes. My children dropped this one on the floor and it is cracked, but it did withstand a pretty good blow without completely breaking in half.
Okay.
So it still works. You don't see a line through it really at all.
Okay.
So, rolling pins.
Got it.
Yeah. My husband laughed. Had a good laugh at me for ordering them. But you hardly bake. I was like, I'm going to do other things with it.
I got a gift from my mom, and it's a shirt for my future retreat going. It says, never underestimate the power of knitters in large groups. I was like, that's going to be perfect. And my husband's like, I'm not quite sure I understand that. It's what we're going to be doing in these large groups.
He underestimated.
Apparently.
He has underestimated us.
But I thought, anytime I'm headed to a large group of knitters, I need to be wearing this shirt. And then also, she came bearing gifts. So, this is a new Notions pouch design.
Ooh.
And I have a kitty that's knitting. And you've got stockings.
This is for me? Yeah. Thank you so much, Anne.
So,
they open a lot.
My mom says that mine was a oopsie because I have a dual design, inside outside. It's a feature. I enjoy it.
I don't think it's oopsie. That's cool. It's kind of like that anagram that I was talking about. Right?
Yeah.
It works both ways.
So, they open up really wide, and it's the Notion size. And
I think our Notions pouch is just kissed. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but... super cool. She seems like she's quite the bag experimenter.
Yeah, she likes to experiment. I mean, she is self-proclaimed ADD. Mm-hmm. If you did not know this about my mom, she also has taken and been certified in taxidermy for waterfowl and fish. So, it's one of her many talents.
So cool. Love it.
Thank you. Making mittens for my family. I should show one. She made it out of an old sweater. She used the Fair Isle portion for me.
Aww. That's how you know your mom really loves you. She makes you mittens and gives you the Fair Isle portion.
Yep. And then they're lined with fleece. So they're double warm.
Ooh. We would be in direct competition if she were in my family.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. A fleece throwdown.
Yes. My mittens are pretty warm too.
But my mom says that she doesn't make clothes. So accessories is as far as she's going to get. So your mom has nothing to worry in the pants and
socks
and all those things. Yeah.
Yeah. Fun.
I think she has made socks for herself, but they were more or less tubes. Mm-hmm. Anywho, so dumpling, I don't know if they're going to end out in the shop anytime soon, but if you like this style, you could custom order it. She does know how to make it, and she is making them. I just got to be one of the first to get one.
I love my computer interfaces. I have a matching bag that will go in.
Perfect.
Excellent.
And that's all I have.
That is all I have too.
Right.
I hope all of your yarny wishes come true out there.
Yes,
Feeling sentimental. It's the end of the year. Come on.
Yeah.
I have
one more before the end.
I know. I haven't done my retrospective yet to look at how many.
Or goals for the new year, but I think we should probably leave that for the first one of the new year. So we'll do the retrospective, and then we'll work on goals.
Okay. Yeah. It's always good to set goals after you've looked at what you were able to do. I agree.
Yes, and that's gonna be on my to-do list. Dang. I gotta go and I gotta look on Ravelry and get a cutoff, and then
if you tag, here's a pro tip. If you tag every project that you do in 2014 with the 2014, you can create a tab that says 2014, and then it will do all of your 2014 projects. And then at the end, Ravelry auto-magically totals tabs. So if you go down, you scroll down to the bottom, it will say 67 projects totaling 35,000 yards or whatever at the bottom of it. Yeah. So it'll help a lot.
Okay.
If you do that.
Yeah, I haven't gear tagged things before. I've done the socks, hats, whatever. That's really interesting too. You can look at how many yards of socks I've made.
Yeah, that would be interesting as well.
So
the power of metadata. You tag things with. I actually Googled what is the opposite of meta the other day. Can you think of something a word that would be the opposite of meta?
Google didn't have an answer?
It didn't.
Oh.
There were people being very waxing philosophical and saying easy for me to say, like meta, it can be abstract and, it goes both ways. I don't know. Tell me, people, literally people, what is the opposite of meta?
Yeah, that's an interesting question.
Anyway.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Uvta.